course you do.
Yeah, of course you do.
Listen, the other day I was talking to the priest and I said to him, it says thou shalt not steal. But, I mean, what about perks? I mean, not that I'm a type of person that would ever have perks, I'm not like that. No way,
What do you mean by perks? I mean,
Well, I don't know how to explain this.
You mean like...
All right, saying I worked in a restaurant, pretend I do, right? And I've got company coming for a meal and I want to impress them. So you borrow the silver. It's the perks of the job just to have the silver. You're going to take it back, but if you're caught, you're thieving. Yes. But if if it was just the perks that you just borrowed it, something like that. Or a phone call. Saying you make a phone call. You work in an office, yeah.
But one of the things that often isn't realised is that there are a number of areas that, as you say, it's stealing or it's wrong or it's criminal. But I wonder how many people will appreciate that of the crime that's committed in this country, 9/10, somebody once described it, the 9/10 as the kind of iceberg. The bit that we know about is the bit above the waterline, which is 1/10. 9/10 we don't know about, but we know it exists, we know it's there. And perks is just one example. There are two other examples. Shoplifting. There's some shops, that will not deliberately, as a matter of policy, prosecute people who shoplift because, they don't want all the hassle.
Joe's asking about the sort of the twilight era of thieving, if you like.
Crime.
I think you maybe... Of crime. I mean, I don't see a little perk as a crime.
Of course it's crime.
No, but I mean, surely it's to do with...
We've enough with politicians blurring the edges. For heaven's sake, let the ordinary people not blur the edges.
No. I mean...
I am sure I have.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have.
What I was thinking, see, as a Catholic, you go to a confession box, you're supposed to confess what you've done. I was sort of saying to the priest about these perks and stealing all being the same thing. Yeah. Do you go into the confessional and confess your perks? And he sort of smiled.
Yes.
Much as to say, unless he thought, what's the good of going and confessing it tomorrow because you're going to do it the next day? I don't know. When he smiled, I don't know.
Well, it's slightly humorous, but nevertheless it's tragic. The perks idea ended with a lot of people finishing up in prison. One man took his perks so far that he actually stole the whole of a Mini, bit by bit. Oh yes. Oh yes, I mean, so perks really is the beginning, and it's the beginning of a slippery slope. Once you accept the idea that somehow it's all right to steal, and see, we think in terms of objects, but stealing time is equally, in my judgment, wrong. Yeah. You see, if in fact we get paid and as a clergyman, I say to people, look, the only reason I came in this job because someone said it was a one-day-a-week job. I'm still trying to discover which day it is, but so I don't have the problem of stealing time, actually, in that sense. But think if people are getting paid till 9 till 5 and they leave at 4:45, that seems to me stealing just as much as any other thing.
But it is really.
Yeah. Well, how can you say no?
Why bother to be good? Look, take an average person's life. I mean, I think to some extent you're privileged in that you've got a job that is aligned to what you like doing. But you've got someone who's working in Woolworths or something, it's bloody boring. And I mean, who's to say that 5 minutes or 5 minutes there doesn't alleviate that boredom in their day? But I mean, why bother to be good? I mean, what advantages is there for me in...
I will tell you the advantages, because not doing that in some way degrades you. It doesn't matter how, even sweeping the roads can be done with effort and with dignity, believe it or not. I mean, there's actually men that sweep the roads, and I think a lot of men that do that job with purpose and dignity. Whatever you do in life, if you do it with your full will and your full self, it does something to you. If you suddenly kind of start taking time from the job or not putting yourself into it, you are the person that's degraded, not the boss, you. The boss might lose money, but you lose something of yourself that's incredibly important, and that's the dynamic that we've got to. That I think we ought to encourage people to think about. So it's not the value of the rubber or the value of the pen or whatever. It's destroying you inside, and all crime, all evil does that.
Are you saying then that all these little 5 minutes or whatever, or your little bit of money here or little bit of money there? I'm not advocating that people start stealing from their employers or anything, but
money, is it? It's usually the simple thing like a pen or time, like you say,
or a paperclip or something. Are you saying that all adds up and that God's got a little notebook and he's
No, I'm saying you've got a little notebook inside you.
I lost mine. You see.
I don't think you have. You see, I think what happens, the whole business of sin and evil in the world, and is what it does to us. I mean, Jesus said this often in his life. You know, if you behave in this kind of way, you lose your life. You know, and you've got to lose your life to save it. You've got to recognise it's in giving that you receive. It's not in getting, it's in giving that you get back.
Yeah, I tell you, it just seems so far removed from...
But it isn't.
See, it only seems
really
stealing when
far
it's a
removed.
big thing. Saying you worked in the butcher's, you took a big joint of meat, right? That would be theft. But if you just take a lamb chop, it doesn't seem half so bad as that big joint of meat, does it? I know it is wrong. I know it's
but
wrong.
Peter says that's the beginning of the slippery slide down to...
That means I'm
what?
working my way
What I'm
up to
saying,
the joint.
what I'm saying is that is the beginning for you of a wounding inside you that'll open out, and even if you only do it once, it scars you inside.